Hey guys, welcome back to releasethecraftin. Priscilla here with another tarot reading of myself for you guys. This is the second of the 2 tarot spreads that Joy and I did. Joy at WitchMoonCraft on Instagram, and here on YouTube at a different channel that isn't nearly as relevant because she hasn't put content on it yet. But if you go to Instagram, she got a lot of content there, a lot of great content for you guys, and she is doing a month of practical magic inspired stuff. And I joined her for week 2, which was all about the ants, and we did a bunch of witchy things, and I thought I would just show you guys. If you aren't on Instagram, if you're not sure what's there, this is the stuff we did. We did all this stuff. Also, I did the Hansel and Gretel thing with her and the Maleficent thing with her, so like, we're friends. We collaborated. We did the witchy things. And here's all the cool witchy things that you guys can get. You can get some really cool stuff here. So definitely get online. Check this out. Grab this information. There's tons of free graphics and stuff there for you guys. Witchy inspiration in the captions as well. Tons and tons of info just for you guys. And the last thing that we had for the week, for today, which is Saturday, was a spread of advice from the aunts. So we made a 6 spot, I don't want to say card yet, tentative card, tarot spread based on some of our favorite quotes from the film, and I think you guys will like this one. It also is a little draggy. I still don't think anything has topped Maleficent or our Maleficent spread as dragging, because that one like physically hurt me. And I just did the one that we did yesterday, the My Darling Girl normal quote tarot spread. I did that today, technically, but that came out yesterday for me in my reality and experience of time. I just did that one. It was a little bit draggy. I was a little in my feelings for a minute before I jumped back into this one, but I'm ready. I'm here. And I thought I would do this one with an oracle deck, because I have a lot of oracle decks, and also I know that some people aren't like super into tarot decks, but they have oracle decks. So I thought this would be a good way to show you guys that you don't necessarily have to be really into tarot to do a tarot spread. The spreads are adaptable to an oracle card. There's some diversity here. You can branch out and use whatever form, words are really hard, whatever form of divination that you prefer. So it doesn't have to be tarot or oracle deck or card based. Even you could get your runes out and follow along, just as long as you follow along, and then let me know in the comments below, or in a message if you don't feel confident about sharing it on the comment section that you tried it, because I'd love to know if you tried it. I'd love to know your experiences, how you felt, if you enjoyed it. I would love to know that. So please send it to me. I love to see it. Tag me if you do it online somewhere so I can look at it and view it. Tag Joy too at WitchMoonCraft if you post it up on Instagram, because she would love to see it as well. But yeah, I had a lot of fun this week. I already rambled about it in my last video, but I'm going to continue to ramble about it now, because as you know, procrastination is how I cope. So we're gonna jump into this one. I'm a little nervous. This one is sort of interesting to me. I was talking to Joy about it, because as we were like coming up with the prompts and stuff, I realized that we had kind of given ourselves like a full like fool's journey sort of cycle, like a hero's journey, going from like the beginning all the way to like a satisfying conclusion. And that was really fun for me. I really love when things follow like a linear thought train in regards to like telling a story, kind of. So I think you guys will see it as we go through, and you might enjoy it if you try it yourselves. Definitely try it if you are capable, and you know, just give it a shot. See if you like it. It's practical magic inspired, and you can't go wrong with things that are practical magic inspired, right? I don't think so. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. You guys can see all the reflections of all my lights. How can I read this though? There we go. That's fine. I think that works. Whatchamacallit? I literally just posted this like a little bit ago, a couple hours ago, so it's still hot off the presses, brand spanking new. Really excited to share it, and I'm procrastinating. So the first one, the quote is, "In this house, we have chocolate cake for breakfast, and we never bother with silly things like bedtimes or brushing our teeth." And the prompt is something sweet to give us strength whenever we feel challenged. So whenever I feel challenged, what will give me strength? The horseshoe. Good luck. Which, you know, honestly, I've been kind of on that whole like lucky girl mentality 2023. And yeah, I really feel it. I really feel like good things happen to me, and it's just sort of a way to be a little bit more appreciative of my day, because I find myself being pleasantly surprised by how lucky I am. And maybe I should just embrace it and be like, yeah, I am lucky. I mean, maybe like need to boost my confidence a little bit more so that I could accept that luck as like a state of being and not just something that coincidentally happens. But yeah, I like that. That's a great little sweet start to this. And then we're gonna cut myself down at the legs or the knees. What's it called? How's that? You know this. You know the phrase about the cutting yourself down at the knees or ankles. I don't remember what it is. You guys know it. Tell me about it later. Because the next prompt is, or the quote is, "But with the sweets comes the sour." And the prompt is a bitter thing that we need to watch out for, and it might be a behavior or habit that we have to change. The bottle tree. So the bottle tree, the prompt on this card is mediation and intercession. If you are not in the South, you may never have seen these, but they use these to like capture spirits in the tree. It's really fascinating. I love seeing them in people's yards. It's actually delightful. I wish I had a yard, because I would definitely have a bottle tree. But on like the topic of intercession, I honestly think like this card kind of speaks to a little bit of cynicism. Like, you need to have this defense, because if you don't, bad things will happen to you. So it's a little bit on the cynical side. And I think that habit that I need to change, and one of the things that I've been like working on this year, if you guys remember my New Year's post, or Joy's New Year's post, because that's where I got the idea from, and why I made this, that's what I was trying to show you guys when I pulled my hand away, was that I have this like really bad habit of being very like negative to myself and like my self-talk patterns. And I think where I'm getting the intercession from on this is that I need to intervene and like dramatically curb my internal like cynical nature, where I'm just like, of course you're doing this because this is how you are, and I just constantly kind of put myself down a little bit. And I think, yeah, I need to watch out for that and be aware that I do that, and like sort of catch it when I'm doing it, and then intercede on my own behalf and be like, hey, fucking knock it off. Don't be a jerk to yourself. It doesn't serve anybody. It has been like one of my goals for the year, so that does seem to be very timely and on track with how things are currently happening. Also interesting that like that's a personal goal for myself for the year, as well as like the lucky girl thing that I've like been approaching for this year. So we're kind of seeing like a larger, broader reaching sort of reading going on here. So for the third quote, the quote is, "No, of course, the nudity is entirely optional, as you well remember. And this is a way that you need to make yourself vulnerable in order to move forward." And you guys, when I typed it with my little fingers on my phone to Joy, I was like, why are you doing this to yourself? Like, I already knew I wasn't gonna like anything that makes me feel vulnerable, but I tippy tapped that right in there, and she said yep, and I went, oh dang it. Like, well, she didn't just say yep, she also probably did the same thing I did, where she went ugh, and then agreed that it was the appropriate prompt for this quote. And a way that I need to make myself vulnerable, this was Sassafras, the healing and self-care card. I don't know if you guys really need to see my iPad that much. It's easier if you see the cards better, right? Sassafras, the self-care card. Yeah, I think probably because sassafras has been used like internally as a medicine for a very long time, especially by like the indigenous population. I think what this is telling me is that I need to like really pay attention to my physical health, and I probably have been ignoring it a little bit because the world is stressing me out right now, and I've been choosing to focus on that stress as opposed to like acknowledging that my physical health isn't doing the best. So I actually probably need to take some time off and like work on that and work on myself. which is kind of hard to admit because I tend to put myself last when it comes to like my list of priorities. It's always like my cats and then like work and then this work and then, you know, everything else. And then at the very bottom, I'm like, and then maybe you can treat yourself to like something nice. And maybe instead of like treating myself to physical items to make myself feel better, I just need to focus on my overall well-being in order to move forward, which is very logical. It's very sensible, and I really should do that. And I will do. I will do that. I'm saying it here. I will do that. I'm just gonna move on because that was exposure I was not prepared for. So the next quote is a long quote, so bear with me. This is, eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blindworm sting, Barbados lime is just the thing, cragged salt like a sailor's stubble, flip the switch and let the cauldron bubble. That's Midnight Margarita's quote, guys. I love it. We had to put it in. You can't have like a practical magic spread and not put that in there, of course. So for this prompt, it is, you have the tools. Pull 1 to 8 cards to figure out what tools you'll need to move forward. And I kind of like this one. Joy was on his suggested it should be like a multi-card thing to follow all the ingredients in the margarita mix. And I actually really like that idea of figuring out what tools I will need to move forward and like things that I have at my disposal that I can use. So first up, we have Passion, the Feminine Power card. This is Cowrie Shells. This just really speaks to like following my passions and my like heart's desire, pursuing that like passionately, I guess is the best way to word that. Pursuing it authentically and just sort of leaning into everything that like the feminine power intuitive side of me says, like lean into your passions and go hard for that. And that's a tool that will actually help me and benefit me in the long run. And I think I'm going to pull another one. Let's see what other tool. We have the Mason Jar, which is the card for mentorship and protection. And honestly, when I look at Mason Jars, I just think about canning, and canning just tells me like, be prepared. So I think like this is just telling me that, you know, properly preparing myself for things that come my way, always being on the mindset of like, how can I prepare? What I can do is like an active preparation to get ready for the things that I know are coming, especially if like I know there's some things that are coming up that like I need to deal with and probably prepare for. So this is telling me like definitely pursue your passions, but also be ready for the stuff that's going to come your way so that you're not blindsided by it. And one of the prompts on this is mentorship. And I think that's giving me just like take advice when people give it to you. Because most of the time, like when people give me advice, I go, and then I look it up myself to be like, is this actually true? And then I don't do anything with it because I fail upwards. I like to fail upwards. So I think, yeah, just being prepared for stuff and then listening when people are actually trying to help me is going to serve me in the long run. That makes the most sense, right? Like taking advice that is being freely given. And then the last one I think I'm going to pull, I don't think I need that many tools. Just a couple tools. It's how cute. It's the raccoon, and that card is curiosity and perseverance. And I love this card. This was a great card to end on. It tells me to like just continue to explore and, you know, obviously persevere, persist, but also to be like adaptable to the things that are coming up. Raccoons are really fantastic at adapting to situations they find themselves in. If you have never seen one in your backyard, then maybe you're not aware, but they found themselves there and they worked their way around you. So like, I love that. I love raccoons in general. I love their little grabby hands. It brings me delight. My ultimate goal in life is to have my own home so that I can just like feed the raccoons and they can just come around and grab it with their little grabby fingers, and to have like an army of raccoons. I want to be the raccoon lady. I don't really want to be the crazy cat lady. I have my own cats. Like I don't need the whole neighborhoods, but I will take the whole neighborhood's raccoons for sure. And I will take that. In addition to pursuing my passions, preparing for things, I also need to adapt to situations that arise. That's a really good one. I really like this. This is actually turning out to be a very hopeful thing, and I know I'm about to like shoot myself in the foot by saying that out loud into the universe, because the next prompt is clean up your own mess is the quote, and the prompt for that is, it's time to move forward, but first you need to take some accountability for the actions that brought you here. and I don't want to. And I could just stop it. I could just stop right here, right? Like, I'm the master of my own universe. I could just stop and not take any accountability, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to do the work, so let's do the work. Let's see. Ugh, I love these cards, but they're really matte and they're very hard for me to pick up. I think over time the matteness will be more tactile, but right now it's a very it sticks to itself, so it's very hard to pick up. But otherwise, I mean, I love these cards. I hate this card. I hate this card. This is the Conjured Spirit. And it is the Summoning Drama and Negativity card. I think the negativity sort of ties into what I was talking about earlier with like the negative self-talk crusade that I've been on. I tend to bring my own negativity to the party by being horrible to myself in the way that I speak to myself. And I think that's what it's telling me. Like, I am the drama because I make myself feel like shit, and then that expresses itself outwards, and I really need to just sort of accept that I do that and let it go and fucking chill for like a second. Because I'm not going to be able to move forward. Like, I'll have all these tools, but I won't be able to move forward if I continue to treat myself like garbage. And then continue to use the shitty feeling that I make myself feel to, like, be crappy to other people as some sort of, like, karmic payback for things they didn't even do. Because I let myself convince myself that, like, nobody likes me or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not good, and it's not serving me any purposes. So I really need to let it go. I don't like this card. I do love this card in this deck, but I hate this card whenever I see it. It's kind of like my personal tower in this deck. But we're just gonna move on. So it's time to come a full circle. How can you strengthen your relationships with the people around you? Who is looking out for you? That's the prompt for the 6th quote, which is, we need a full coven, 9 women, 12's better. Do you have any friends? And this is going to tell me who's looking out for me. How can I strengthen relationships with the people around me? The Crossroads. So the Crossroads is the road opener. Words are really hard. I need merchandise, I think. Decision making, I think, as I talk about decisions. Who's looking out for me? I think, okay. This is interesting. For this one, I think what this card is telling me is that I need to make some decisions. I know that I've been, like, tossing a couple ideas around my brain for a while now, and I haven't made a choice. Like, I haven't pulled the trigger on it to make any hard and fast moves. And I think what this is telling me in regard to my relationships is that as I make these decisions, like, one, I need to make them. I need to absolutely make these choices so that I can move forward and get this stuff, like, out of my brain. But as I make these decisions, I'm going to discover who is actually, like, in my corner rooting for me and who sticks by me as I go through this. Like, I'm going to discover who my real friends is. I think that's the road opener, is I'm going to be moving some people out of the way as I make these choices. And the people that stick by me and continue to follow down this path with me are going to be my real friends. So I think that what this is telling me is my real friends are the ones who are going to support the decisions that I make and continue to follow me as I pursue my goals, as opposed to standing in my way. And as I make these decisions, I'm going to clear that path myself. And I think I want one more on here. Ew. So this is the Crystal Grotto, and it stands for energy in the cosmos. And I'm kind of looking at this as more as like a creaky chair, as like how spirit is like connecting to me. So like this was like my physical like friends and allies, and this is sort of like my spiritual realm telling me that like I'll be deepening my communication with spirit as I make the decisions that I need to make to move forward. I'll sort of find more connection with spirit and spirits in general, that will also continue to support me and become part of like my own personal coven, sort of working in my favor and rooting for me and helping me to achieve the goals that I have set for myself. So yeah, actually, this was a great reading, you guys. I don't feel the pain that I felt from the last one. Maybe because I worked through that a little bit. And although I got it was a little bit uncomfortable in there, a little uncomfortable. I actually really like the linear journey of this and the story that I've just told myself about myself. I really just like having been able to vocalize a lot of that stuff and get it out of my brain a little bit. I think that made me feel really positive at the end of here. So really knowing who my friends were and how to strengthen those relationships is really beneficial. But I think, yeah, making the right choices will expose the things that I need and sort of help boost my overall like energetic sense of well-being as I work on my physical health and start being nicer to myself and things like that. So yeah, that was really great. If you guys try this one, definitely let me know. I'm super interested to hear what you got. What kind of story are you telling yourself? This is fantastic. I'm going to go journal about this one too. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Don't worry, I have some more tarot content coming up for you guys. This is sort of a two for this weekend, so I probably won't post next week, but the week after I should have something for you. I do want to do another tarot walkthrough, and I have been stuff requested, but if there's some tarot stuff you want to see, I don't know like what would be the most beneficial to you guys. If you just want to see like more of my decks and maybe get an understanding of them, if you want to go like card by card through the entire tarot deck series, like let me know, because I am interested. If that's something you're interested in, it's definitely something that can be done. I love tarot and I love talking about tarot. Clearly we've been here for 20 minutes, so I do really enjoy doing tarot and oracle readings and stuff like that. I just want to know what you guys will enjoy so I know what to bring you, because that's my goal as a content creator, to bring you things that I enjoy but also stuff that you'll enjoy. But I will catch you guys all in the next one. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate your faces. And until next time, happy crap. Why are words so freaking hard? Happy crafting. Goodbye.